So in this problem, we're going to find the area of a rectangle. It says the length of a 200 square foot rectangular vegetable garden is 4 feet less than twice the width. Find the length and width of the garden to the nearest tenth of a foot. Okay, so this means they want us to round off the answer. Okay, so let's get our formula for the area of a rectangle. Area is equal to length times width. And we could draw a little rectangle. And we're saying that the area, all of this is 200 square feet. And again, sometimes they'll write square feet like this. Sometimes they'll write it like that. But it's just the unit of measure. So 200 is the area. All right. Then it says the length of this rectangular garden is 4 feet less. 4 feet less. So the length is minus 4 feet less than twice the width. So if this is my width, I'm going to make this 2w. So 4 feet less than twice the width. Okay, that's the tricky part, so maybe. All right, so now I've got a width, I've got a length, so I can say my area, I'll rewrite this. My area is 200. My length is 2w minus 4, and my width is w. Okay, so I'm going to distribute on the right-hand side. I get 2w squared minus 4w. Now, if I wanted to make this problem a little bit easier, I could divide everything by 2. You're allowed. We've done that before. So it just makes my numbers smaller, and they're not fractions, so I like that. Okay. That just makes the numbers smaller. Now I'm going to subtract the 100 because I need to set this to 0. This is a quadratic equation. And I was hoping it would factor, but I don't think it's going to factor. And so maybe I wanted to use the square root property, and complete the square. But that's probably the easier way to do this. So I'm going to go back to putting my 100 on the other side. And I'm going to rewrite this. So it's going to be the same equation. I'm going to switch it around a little bit. I decided I don't care for that form. So I'm taking it from that form. Anyway, I'm going to complete the square. And I'll tell you why I'm going to do that. Because you might be saying, well, why don't you just use the formula? It's going to be easier if I complete the square. I have a leading coefficient of 1, and my b is even, so I just have to take that -2, divide it by 2, and square it, which is going to be -1 squared, which is going to be 1. Oops, is going to be 1. Let me erase that blob there. Okay, so if I add 1 to both sides, then on the left-hand side I have w minus 1 squared equals 101. Now, I didn't have to switch it. I just thought it might be easier for you to follow because this is the way we've done them in the past. Now I can take the square root of both sides. I'm going to put the plus or minus in for now. I don't know what the square root of 101 is. I'll just have to use my calculator in a minute. I am going to put 1 on the other side, though. Now, we're only going to get one answer. You can say, well, I have 2 answers. 1 minus the square root of 101. This is what we've done in the past. And 1 plus the square root of 101. But I know this answer is not going to be a good answer for the width because the square root of 101, it's got to be more than 10, and that's going to give me a negative answer. So this one's not going to work. You can put it in your calculator, but it's going to be negative, and we need the width to be positive. So now what I really want to know is, what is 1 plus the square root of 101 to the nearest, I think, 10th they want it. So I take my calculator and I type in 1 plus the square root of 101. And I get 11.049875, something like that. And I'm pretty sure it said round to the nearest 10th, but let me go back and look. To the nearest 10th of a foot. All right. So I'm going to say it's just 11.0 then. Now that would be the width. That's what we were finding. So the width is 11.0 feet. And then I'm sure they want the length. So I have to go back and see what was the length again. The length was twice the width minus 4. So twice 11.0 minus 4. So that's going to be 22.0 minus 4 or 18.0. So we'll say that. The length is 18.0. It seems kind of odd that we need the 0.0, but it didn't round up, and we want to show that we're accurate to the nearest tenth. So that's how I would write the answer. There's the width, and there's the length.